Hello guys! After I saw how much people liked my God of War trailer video, I had this idea in the back of my head. I should make a top 10 list relating to God of War. And after watching Kevster25's video, it further solidified my decision to make a top 10 best and worst God of War bosses, in my opinion. Now, if you like any of the bosses that I say I don't like, then that's your opinion, and I respect that. The same goes for the best bosses. As usual, all of the gameplay credits will be in the description below. Like I said a while ago, I do not have a capture card yet, so I hope these people are cool with me using some of their clips. Now enough with the spacking. Let's get to some boss battles. Number 10. Karin. This fight I think is not really that common for God of War fans to remember, unless I'm just out of the loop or something. I like this fight. It's a very simplistic fight, but it's really interesting in my opinion. For some reason this always stood out in my memory. I really like Karin's design. He was really the only character of God of War that actually kinda creeped me out besides the creature that Kratos' mom turned into. He has heads of the people who probably tried to kill him just strapped around him, so anyone who could try to confront him would know that he's not a force to be reckoned with. And I think he is the only person who sent Kratos to Hades that isn't a god. So, yeah. Plus he has a scythe. Scythes are cool. Number 10. Persephone. This fight was always annoying to me. I feel like they didn't record enough grunts or something for Persephone because she always sounded annoying. The fight gets really repetitive because she has maybe 3 different moves when she's on the ground and up on the pillars, and the latter is the most of the fight. It just gets a little stale after a while. A couple of her attacks take away huge chunks of health too. Now that's just me whining, but whatever. And also, if you die at the beginning of the fight, the cutscene will repeat itself again and again and again. And when I first played this on God mode, I was dying a lot, so I was getting really mad. And what's with the music now playing in the first part of the fight? It makes that part seem awkward and just a little boring, but it does come on later, so that's good.
Your suffering will never end, Ghost of Sparta.
Number 9. Hermes. Hermes was one of the few characters in God of War that actually had a character other than a brute, jerk, or crazy pedestrian. This guy actually annoys you, but like in a good way. I always laugh at how he thinks he can best Kratos. I also like how you run through the city of what I think is Athens during most of the fight. It also plays one of my favorite soundtracks from the God of War franchise. I think it's also hilarious when he just slaps you around, and is one of the most satisfying kills in God of War history. Since I think Hermes had more of a character, I actually feel kind of bad when I kill him, but his taunts do make you want to kill him more, so it's okay.
Lazy mortal!
And also, you steal his fabulous boots.
Them legs.
Kratos, in the end, you'll betray only yourself. Leave me alone! Go away!
Number 9. Pollux and Castor. I don't really hate this one. It's just not that memorable, to be honest. I do like the design of Pollux and Castor, however. I didn't like how every time he teleported, the camera would suddenly snap to wherever he was instead of maybe pan over to him. It made me dizzy and disoriented. He was a very basic boss, and like I said, he just isn't really memorable. He just seemed like a minor inconvenience to the plot.
It was my brother who betrayed me. Betrayed us all.
Number 8. The Basilisk. Now we are getting into the large-scale ones. This battle showed how much the PSP was capable of. This just adds to the memorable opening boss fights of God of War. This boss fight was similar to the Scylla, but I like this one more. I think maybe it was the fact that it kept getting closer to you on the bridge, almost pushing you off, is what made it a little more intense for me. I also like the way it shows up suddenly when you thought you were going to fight a Cyclops. I like how it destroys the city in the background. It just adds to the scale. It's just amazing. Number 8. Medusa. This one was meh. It was meh. Meh. That's all. Anywho. Number 7. Hercules. I always loved this fight. Now, it is pretty short, and it does end abruptly, but it's still classic God of War fun. I like the way you strip off every piece of armor until you finally get the Nemean Cestus. It keeps the fight fresh in a way. Taking away Hercules' ways to defend himself forces him to use new moves. You also sort of feel for him when he explains why he should have been the God of War instead of Kratos.
Think about it, brother. While I was stuck cleaning the Augean stables, he chose you to destroy Ares. Not convinced. How about this? While you were being crowned the God of War, I was sent to find an apple. They called them labors. Ha! Perhaps he did allow me to kill the Nemean lion, but he made your name known amongst the people. A fierce warrior, a killer-made hero, a man made a god. But this time, brother, this time I will destroy you. Call it my 13th and final labor. Soon I will become the God of War and claim the throne for myself.
And man, his death is brutal. Also, I love the fact that they got the original Hercules to voice act as this one. It's the little things. Number 7. Theseus. I never really liked this one. The character was always annoying, because, come on, Kratos has killed gods and you just protect a bunch of horses. Well, they are giant horses, but he still insists on trying to beat Kratos. It kinda stops the story in its tracks in my opinion. And look at his teeth! He's got one middle sharp fang tooth thingy.
rage of the Titans drive your blades.
Number 6. Thanatos. I like this one because Thanatos is freaking cool. He looks like an old guy trying to be emo, but the monster he turns into is awesome.
Demos!
Plus there's a cool mechanic used with Demos where you call him to help you fight, which is what I think the kid will be there for in the new game. There's also a touching moment between Demos and Kratos.
A Spartan never lets his back hit the ground. Right, brother?
I will not lose you again, Demos.
Thanatos' sword is also pretty neat and interesting. The only complaint I have is that it sounds like he is gargling oatmeal when he talks.
The oracle may have yet spoken truth. The marked warrior shall bring about the destruction of Olympus. Your fate lies in the hands of Olympus, host of Sparta.
Number 6. Scorpius. Now I know what you're thinking. You don't think Kratos fighting a giant scorpion is awesome? You heathen! Well, my friend, that does sound cool. This fight, however, just doesn't really execute that idea well for me. Its attacks are hard to dodge, its legs are hard to hit because there are multiple of them, so you're flying around everywhere. And the part where you're flying up at it, it's basically impossible to dodge anything that's falling at you. Or maybe I just suck at the game. Maybe this one should be higher in the list, but I've changed the list too many times to make any more changes. Number 5. Callisto. I mentioned this one earlier. This one is just... it's creepy yet very interesting. We actually get to see Kratos' mother for the very first time. It's interesting to me because there are actually questions I have for it. For example, why is she here? Why did she turn into a monster? I just think it's interesting. It's a smaller fight, but story-wise, it's why it's number 5 for me. Number 5. Molcerus. I don't really know why this one is classified as a boss fight. It's really annoying. If you get caught in that one 3-burst fireball attack, then you can't dodge it. It constantly runs at you, and it spans that 2-hit maul attack. I don't know, maybe it's just me.
Let the rage of the
Number 4. The Sisters of Fate. This boss fight is indeed technically 2 people, but it's so interesting I couldn't leave it out. I like this one so much because you actually go back in time to the first game and fight on the sword that enabled you to win the Ares boss fight. I just think that is very cool. This fight also takes some skill to accomplish as well. It's not just some fight I want to get over with, and the way it brings in the first game is just brilliant. Number 4. Manticore. Forgettable. Wait. What? Number 3. Poseidon. This battle is just something else. I don't think a boss fight was this epic since, like, ever. I remember the first time I played this and I saw Poseidon rise up and I was like, the one thing that made me put it at number 3, the one tiniest, littlest, smallest thing. He doesn't do anything to you right here. He just lets you stab him. His hands are free, but he does nothing to stop you. It's a little strange, but it doesn't ruin my fun with the boss fight, and the soundtrack is absolutely epic. Number 3. Perseus. I don't even understand why this is in the game. Yeah, I get that you have to get the shield to put it into the thing, but God! First of all, he turns invisible. That's fair. You can see his footsteps, sure, but most of the time you can't. The one thing that really burns my britches about this fight is how long the QTE trigger stays up there. I mean, look at that! Look how quick that is! How's anyone supposed to be able to get to that in time? He is very satisfying to kill because of how annoying he is. And he just spams that stun attack with his shield. And also, he says that that door was his only way out.
That door was my only escape.
Why couldn't he just go out there? Or the windows up there? Stupid Perseus, no wonder you're loved in Hades. The helmet makes you look like an idiot with your plastic sword and your little slingshot that shoots out Shrek bullets. Number 2. The Philosophers Road. Now this is how you open a game. I think this is the best opening to a God of War game ever. It's so just cool. I mean, you have to fight a giant statue that comes to life before it destroys the city. Come on, that's just amazing. I sometimes just start a new game just to play this boss fight. It's so much freaking fun. And also using the Blade of Olympus for the first time is just... It's one of my favorite weapons in game history.
Do you see, gods of Olympus? Do you need more proof than this?
Number 2. The Furies. Nothing in Ascension was really memorable. Neither was this boss fight. It was just... It was really similar to the Sisters of Fate fight. I do like the scenery and how it's all illusion-y and stuff. Other than that, it was just... And now, for the #1 spot for best boss battle in all of God of War history. The most epic, the most story-driven, the most button-mashing, the most perfect boss battle to ever exist goes to... the Eucharist. Just kidding, it's Chronos! Yes, Chronos. This battle is amazing. I have to sound out every syllable in the word just to describe how amazing it is. Never have I ever seen a boss battle to this scale before. Well, maybe except for that one guy from that one game who turned into the size of a planet. But we aren't talking about that guy. We're talking about Chronos. Now you may be saying, what about the Hydra battle? That is the best and most classic. And you are right, fellow God of War fan. But remember, this is my opinion. This battle will always be my favorite. And while it's not very story driven or character driven, it's still amazingly epic in scale and action. And the part where he says,
I should have expected this from a coward such as yourself. A coward who kills his own kin.
really pulls at my heartstrings, because that is a point where I look back and think, should Kratos really be doing this? And the finishing move is cool. I did notice one mistake, however. See how Kratos cut him open? Well, he's completely healed later. I don't know how this happened, but yeah. Now it's time for the worst boss battle, in my opinion. Number 1. Zeus. Disclaimer, this is only bad on the highest difficulty. This isn't the worst battle because it doesn't belong in the story or just because it doesn't make any sense. This is only bad on the highest difficulty. I simply cannot get past it. It is so freaking hard. 99% of Zeus's moves just can't be blocked unless my game is glitched or something. It's just so hard. And when you die, you have to start all over. So yeah, it's almost worse than having to sit through an unskippable cutscene over and over again. It's just really hard. That's all I have to say about it. I got past all of the other fights on here on the highest difficulty. This is the only one I can't get past. Maybe I'm just bad at the game. Oh well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I stayed up late making this video, and let me tell you, it was worth it. I wish I could give all you guys a great big hug for the popularity on the trailer analysis video. I was so happy when that got some attention. As you guys can probably tell, I got my new Yeti microphone, and I might have a review coming for it soon. Keep an eye out. So obviously there are going to be some people that disagree with me. I just wanted to hear you guys' opinion in the comments. Like it if you want, subscribe to me, that would be just fantastic. That would be really great. But I would really love you for it, and it just helps me a lot, and it gives me a lot of confidence just to make entertainment, and it's fun. I love doing it. I hope I can make it a full-time job. That would be my dream. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and remember, have a wiggly day.